Reporters will tell you the new information coming out as the investigation continues and details about a memorial vigil.
And a World Cup scandal could be emerging. We'll tell you more about that next on Murrow News 8.
From the Northwest Public Broadcasting Studios on the campus of Washington State University, this is Murrow News 8.
Good afternoon to you. I'm Albert James.
And I'm Daniela Julio Cano. Thanks for joining us for Murrow News 8.
Our top story this afternoon, Moscow police are still looking for a suspect in the murder of 4 University of Idaho students 2 weeks since they were killed in their own home. We want to take a moment now to update you on the latest information from the investigation. Police have come out and said there is no connection with the murders to similar cases in Pullman and Salem, Oregon. They've also said the stabbings are not related to an animal skinning case in Latah County. Rumors have been circulating online, filling the void left by a lack of official information. Word about one of the victims having a stalker has also been going around, but police say they aren't able to verify that theory. Moscow police say calls for unusual circumstances and welfare checks have increased since the murders. Investigators are asking the public for any kind of information related to the stabbings. Anyone with tips is asked to call or email Moscow PD. Photos and videos can be submitted to the FBI online. When we get new information about the situation, we'll be sure to pass it along to you.
After being previously postponed, the candlelight vigils in memory of Ethan, Xana, Madison, and Kaylee has been rescheduled to this Wednesday and will be hosted in Moscow, Boise, and eastern Idaho. For those of you in Pullman and Moscow looking to attend, the Moscow vigil will be held at 5 p.m. on the University of Idaho campus, which will be 851 Campus Drive, but could be pushed to the Kibbe Dome due to the weather.
Now, the U of I has been accommodating for students uneasy about returning to Moscow. And back here in Pullman, WSU says they're implementing a similar policy. Provost and Pullman campus Chancellor Elizabeth Chilton says students can contact their professors for, quote, alternative course delivery options. In a statement sent out to students over the break, Chilton says her office has been working with campus faculty to be understanding and provide options for students uneasy about returning to campus. Spokesperson Phil Weiler told Pullman Radio News that online classes are just one option students can explore with their professors. Chilton's email also detailed some of the safety measures for students, including increased police patrols, access to Cougar Safe Rides, and police cadet escorts. Now, in other news, the Moscow Volunteer Fire Department is accepting applications for their Spring 2023 Fire Academy. Applicants will be provided all of the necessary equipment and training that is needed to protect the city in an emergency. No prior experience is necessary, and the department says their only requirement is that volunteers are driven and passionate about serving their community. The application is available at the Moscow Fire Department website. After the break, we'll tell you what you need to watch out for as the weather gets snowier.
And a certain country wants the United States kicked out of the FIFA World Cup. We'll tell you what country it is next.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, yes, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, the boss's boss. If 1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes, that means it could be you, your barber, your barber's barber.
Nice work. Thanks.
You, your plumber.
Breathe right into your foot.
Your plumber's masseuse.
Yes.
You, your dog walker.
On your left.
Your cat jogger. Or you, your co-pilot. Your co-pilot's co-pilot. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org to know where you stand.
Iran state media is calling for the U.S. to be kicked out of the 2022 World Cup after the United States Soccer Federation changed Iran's flags on social media to show support for protesters in Iran. On Saturday, the U.S. team posted a Group B standings graphic. In the graphic, the team removed the emblem of the Islamic Republic. The post has since been deleted. According to CNN, the team says that it wanted to change the official flag for 24 hours to show support for the women in Iran fighting for basic human rights, but also plan to go back to the original flag. U.S. head coach Greg Berhalter says the team had no idea of what was put on social media and apologized. The U.S. is set to face Iran tomorrow at 11 a.m.
Now back here at home, we had some snow in the forecast for today, but you might have noticed we got a little more than what was expected. Murrow News 8's Alex McCollum joins us live along Veterans Mall to talk about the conditions. Alex, what's going on out there?
Albert, we've seen a lot of snow accumulating here on campus and in Pullman, a little bit more than we originally had forecasted. So if you're out in the cold weather, make sure you dress for that. I have a hat, gloves, scarf, puffer jacket, 2 pairs of socks, and heavy boots. Now we have seen some maintenance crews clearing the sidewalks on campus, but if you're walking around the surrounding area, like on College Hill, make sure you give yourself plenty of time to get where you need to go, because not all those sidewalks are clear. They're still slippery and they're still dangerous. Now as for the main roads, they are also seeing some snow as well. So if you're out driving, make sure you drive slowly, give yourself plenty of time to brake, and increase the following distance behind or between the driver in front of you and yourself. And I'm going to throw it back to you, Albert and Danielle, in the studio for some more information on Washington road conditions. Reporting from Veterans Mall, Alex McCollum, Murrow News 8.
Alex, thank you. And now just moments ago, we've gotten word that Stadium Way at B Street has been closed due to an accident. We're working now to confirm more information about that. Additionally, the City of Pullman has announced that bus services have been suspended due to the bad weather. Now, it's not just here in Pullman. Snow over the holiday weekend caused some headaches for people traveling across the state through the mountain passes. The Washington State Department of Transportation has some guidance for drivers going through the snow. The biggest piece of advice from them, drivers should adjust to the conditions. Go slow, have space between you and the car in front of you, and give yourself more time to get where you need to go. Even if you have 4-wheel or all-wheel drive, they say you will not stop or steer better on ice. If you're going over the passes, be sure to have a full tank of gas, warm clothes, food and water, and a first aid kit. Updated pass conditions and restrictions are available on their website, wsdot.gov. Now, I don't know about you, but I actually had to come back here a day early because they were talking about the pass being awful. DJ, is it going to continue to be tough in the passes?
Unfortunately, Albert, the weather is not looking like it's going to change anytime soon, as we saw a preview of the heavy snowfall today. As we move over to the weather wall, we saw heavy snows as I said before. And today we saw a high of 29 degrees, and we're going to see a low of 11 tonight, with winds coming from the west at around 11 miles per hour. And as we move on to tomorrow, we're going to see a high of 25 and a low of 21 tomorrow night, with winds coming from the southeast at around 5 to 7 miles per hour. And as we move on to the state map, and you see a constant theme on the state map, it's just snow, 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 as you can see here. But as we move over to the west side, you see in Olympia, you see a high of 38 and a low of 27. And in Seattle, you see a high of 39 and a low of 29, but there is a chance of snow showers in Seattle. But if we move on to central Washington, as we move over to central Washington, this is where you see, this is not a typo, it was sunny in Yakima with very few clouds in the sky. But as we move on to the 5-day forecast, it's just snow all week long, with snowstorm watch being on Tuesday night to Wednesday during the day. And that's all I have for you guys. Back to you guys at the desk.
DJ, thank you. I just want to add some information. School buses operated by Pullman Transit are continuing but will be delayed. Now, after the break, we'll have an unfortunate Apple Cup recap as well as a fortunate one.
And the United States national team needs a win. We'll tell you who they need to beat right here on Murrow News 8.
Well, the Cougs fell to the Huskies on Saturday by 18 points as Michael Penix Jr. led Washington's offense to over 700 total yards. The sold-out crowd at Giesa Field did not disappoint. Offense was the name of the game early and often. Let's take a look at the first drive where Michael Penix finds Jalen Polk for 6, which was also caught by the Murrow cam. A few drives later, on 4th and 10, Cam Ward somehow escapes the pressure to find Robert Farrell scampering into the end zone. And even though the national broadcast started looking at the wrong player, the Murrow cam has you covered. Later in the first half, Michael Penix throws a quick screen to the other Jalen, who gives it back faster than an unwanted Christmas gift for Penix to waltz into the end zone like it's customer service. The first play of the second half was a touchdown, and the Huskies never looked back. In the end, Husky fans tried to storm the field like the Cougs did a season ago. It wasn't exactly the same, but they definitely had their moment. Cam Ward spoke about WSU's big picture after the game.
You know, everything happens for a reason. We didn't play our best brand of football on offense today, and, you know, we could have helped the defense out a little bit more, especially after the interception that they gave us. So trying to, you know, watch the film, just get better off that.
Well, even if the football Apple Cup was heartbreaking for Coug fans, the volleyball one did not disappoint. Unlike football, the volleyball Apple Cup was all about defense. The first set came down to a huge block by Magda and the eye discipline to patiently watch a UW hit go out of bounds. Set 2 had a similar finish where blocks by Magda and Katie Ryan put the Cougs up 2-0. A big swing by Magda closed out set 3, clinching a 3-0 sweep in front of a sold-out crowd at Bowler. Now in worldwide sports, the 2022 World Cup is nearing the end of the group stage. The United States drew in both of their first 2 games against Wales and England and now need a win against Iran tomorrow to advance to the round of 16. Lionel Messi also became the first player to tally an assist in 5 World Cups. Cristiano Ronaldo became the first men's player to score in 5 different World Cups with his goal against Ghana. Ronaldo and Portugal, along with Brazil, both won this morning, joining France as the only 3 teams to qualify for the knockout round so far. Meanwhile, the host nation, Qatar and Canada, have both been eliminated. We'll be right back with you on Murrow News 8.
We have a minute and 35 left. DJ, final look at the forecast.
You know, it's going to be cold. That's all I have to say.
We know you've been waiting to say that. We know it.
Of course.
And that's going to do it for us this afternoon. Thanks so much for stopping by. More news at nwpb.org/MN8. Have a good night.